But every time that I am playing D4, I am thinking, dude, what am I doing with my life playing D4 if I could be playing PoE 2 right now? When I am playing PoE 1, I am not thinking that. I am enjoying PoE 1. So guys, I have this video here from Try that is called the upcoming Path of Exile 2 patches and why I quit PoE 1. And of course, this title caught my attention because he was a PoE 1 player before PoE 2 came out. And I am a new Path of Exile player. I started with PoE 2 and now I am playing PoE 1 and I am really enjoying it. So it is like two different perspectives about these two games. So I want to hear his perspective and maybe I have to say something about it. Let's see what happens.
Indeed, what is happening with Path of Exile 2 and what is happening with me? First of all, the elephant in the room. Why am I not doing any Path of Exile 1 content? Well, it's pretty simple, you guys. I'm not having fun with the game. The expansion looks like a banger. It looks like people are having a ton of fun, including a lot of you who have never played Path of Exile 1 before and were introduced to the series via Path of Exile 2. And for all of you, I am so happy.
Hey, thank you, dude. He's talking about me, guys. He's talking specifically about me, not about all of the people that started with PoE 2 and then went PoE 1. No. He's talking about me, Yazarus, personally. He just didn't name me to not make other people feel bad about it, you know. Dude, over 60% of you are not subscribed. Why are you like this? Just click the sub button, my dude. It is quick, it is easy, it is free. You get content, I get a sub. Win-win situation, just click the sub button, my dude. No, but honestly, dude, hey, I am like that. I started with PoE 2. I got addicted to the game and now I tried PoE 1 with 326 and I am really having fun. I think it is really cool. Yeah, I think it is really cool. But he said he's not having fun. And honestly, if you are not having fun with a game, that is the reason why you don't play the game. If you are not having fun, you are not having fun. Like, what can you say to that? You can't say to someone, no, you should be having fun because I am having fun. Nah, if a dude is not having fun, the dude is not having fun, dude. I respect Try for being honest. Hey, like forcing yourself to play the game. If you are not enjoying it, it is a pain in the ass. And you know this happened a lot in the content creation space because people feel the need to play the game even if they are not having fun because you need to create content about the game. So at that point, it turns into a real fucking job to play the game, right? Like I don't want to play, but I am playing it because I have to play it because of the channel. At that point, it becomes a real fucking job, and nobody wants to transform their favorite game into a fucking job, right? That is what happens. So there is some respect in there because he's not just. Let me see. There is some respect in there because he's not just playing it to create the content, even if he's not having fun. He's just saying fuck it. I am not going to play this yet, even if I am not having fun. Fuck the content, whatever. So, hey, I can respect that. I guarantee you. There are some content creators out there that you may watch every day and they create good content that they are probably not liking it as much, but they are doing it because they think they have to because of creating the content. That is happening 100%.
However, I just wasn't enjoying myself, and as I've always said on this channel, if I'm not having fun, if I'm not passionate about something, then I'm not going to make content on it because I'm not playing it and I'm not experiencing it, so I can't really speak on it. So do not expect any...
I do that too, by the way. I do that too. And that is why my content in games like WoW and Diablo 4 went down dramatically when PoE 2 came out. And all I could talk about was PoE 2 because it was the only game that I was playing because it started consuming my life. So I am creating content about the game I am playing. I can't give you content about the games that I am not playing. That is fucking stupid.
Path of Exile 1 videos on the channel in the near future about 3.26. Maybe I will try in 3.27, but I really think the Path of Exile 1 ship has sailed for a few reasons. One, I just don't enjoy the gameplay anymore. The content in that game is rich. The build craft in that game is diverse and nearly unlimited. I'm not that kind of guy. I like experiencing the game. I like playing.
Look at the words he's using in here. He's praising the game. But still, a lot of PoE1 Andes are going to hear this and are going to say, Try is a casual, he doesn't know what he's talking about, he's a pussy or whatever the fuck. Dude, he's praising the game. Just because he's not having fun, you are going to watch on him. He's not having fun, let him not have fun and quit the game. He's not forced to have fun in the game, dude. And he's still praising your game. He's still praising your game. I know that a lot of people that like PoE1 a lot are going to be mad because he's saying that he quit because he was not having fun. But he's still praising the game. But people don't hear the praising. They only hear the other part.
Playing the game. I don't like preparing to play the game. I don't like playing in all these external programs, and I don't like sitting in the game and tinkering with things constantly. I just like getting in the game and playing it. It's why I really liked Claire Obscure Expedition 33. It's why I really enjoy Path of Exile 2, and it's why I'm
like Path of Exile 2.
Stepping away from Path of Exile 1 right now.
And I want to say you guys this, so that people get really fucking mad at me out of the gate. I am really enjoying Path of Exile 1. I think it is a really fucking good game. And I am having a lot of fun. But I still prefer PoE 2. Just because there are a lot of systems in PoE 1 that are clearly superior to Path of Exile 2. For example, the thing that I have said all these days. The Atlas tree and the Atlas progression, how you get your Atlas points in PoE 1 is insanely better than PoE 2. And I hope one day PoE 2 incorporates that system from PoE 1 because it is insanely cool. But I still think that PoE 2 feels better to play. The way I move my character in PoE 2, it is really fucking good. And not having to care about sockets in your gear, it is also really fucking good. I just prefer PoE 2. I just prefer PoE 2. But I am really having fun with PoE 1 right now, and I am not thinking actively like, what happens to me when I play D4? For example, every second that I am playing D4, I am thinking, and I like D4. To me, D4 is a good game. I like it. I am not a D4 bad gamer. But every time that I am playing D4, I am thinking, dude, what am I doing with my life playing D4 if I could be playing PoE 2 right now? When I am playing PoE 1, I am not thinking that. I am enjoying PoE 1. You know? That to me is already a W for PoE 1.
Now, I have no desire to log in. I think some people share that sentiment with me, but a lot of you are blasting and having a great time. And for all of you, I'm so happy. So with that out of the way, let's move into the Path of Exile 2 state of the game. First of all, the first...
Okay, he's going to move on to another topic, but to close out this topic, I think that we could say that Path of Exile 2 spoiled Path of Exile 1 for him. Like, he was a Path of Exile 1 player, then he experienced PoE 2, and now he can never go back. Maybe that happened. And hey, that is acceptable. Like, yes, understandable. I can see that happening. I am trying PoE 1 because of PoE 2. If PoE 2 never came out, I would probably never gotten into PoE 1, to be honest. So, hey, that is another way of looking at things too.
Major patch since Dawn of the Hunt came out, 021, arrived a fact right after my interview with game director Jonathan Rogers, and with it came a ton of improvements to Path of Exile 2's endgame, to the early game, to progression systems, and the like. It introduced a bunch of chase unique, it tackled monster balance, it tackled your endgame progression, and added a bunch of actual content to the game, which is quite surprising for a mid-league expansion. Now, for the people who did not watch my interview, you'll also know that more of these are coming for Dawn of the Hunt. There will be actual character balance changes in 022 and 023, but there will be no nerfs in these actual little content updates. There will only be buffs to underutilized skills, changes to underutilized skills, and perhaps touches to ascendancy balance as well. In August,
they say they are going to buff the Chayula Monk because it is the worst ascendancy in the game.
The next content update arrives with 030. Hopefully, there is a new class. There is currently a new class planned for that expansion, but as we all know with the new content cadence, if the new class is not ready in time for 030, they're releasing it in August regardless. And
I know that, by the way, and I have told you guys that I do prefer this new way of doing things, I want them to be the patch every 4 months. If something is not ready, okay, push it back. But at the same time, dude, at the same time, if you don't give me the Druid in the August patch, I will be mad as fuck. You have, brother, the Druid should be there from release on December. And December was already delayed from June or some bullshit like that. So you have to give me the Druid this August. Please, just end my suffering. I am imploring you. End my suffering and give me the Druid in PoE 2 in the 0.3 patch in August, please. But I understand, like, I like the new cadence patch, and I agree with if it is not ready, push it back. You can push back everything, just not the Druid. Just not the Druid. After you release the Druid, you won't hear me saying this shit anymore. Yes, delay this, delay that, nobody gives a fuck. Hey, but drop it with the wolf. Don't drop it just with the fucking bear. Nobody gives a fuck about the bear. The bear can suck my dick. I want the wolf Druid. And I say the wolf Druid because I already know they are not going to do a proper werewolf. They are going to go with the Twilight Wolf pussy shit. But it is still a wolf. So okay.
And the next patch after that will be 4 months after, which means we'll get 0.40 in December 2025 for Path of Exile 2. Now, when we're looking at that August patch, I have quite a few videos planned discussing what might be in the patch with no confirmations of course. As always, we are all hoping that the new class coming is the Druid, perhaps the Templar, and I really think it's going to be one of those two classes alongside the weapons and skills that will arrive with it. If we get the Druid, we'll get elemental-based spells like Volcano, Whirlwind, and the like. We'll also get shape-shifting forms, bear form, wolf form, and the other mysterious forms.
Brother, we still don't know if the wolf is 100% confirmed. But if you don't give me the wolf, I will be really pissed off. I am a noob at the game, but I want to become the Pox of shape-shifting. What do I mean by that? Pox is the goat of Righteous Fire, right? To the point that if you want to know something about Righteous Fire, you go to Pox. I want to be that guy for shape-shifting. And more specifically for the wolf.
Supposed to be coming. And then if we get the Templar, that'll come with the flail weapon type, all of its associated skills, and probably a bunch of holy related to. Think of the Templar as being the paladin that everybody desires in ARPG right now. I have 2 planned videos about these upcoming classes, everything we know about them from everything that's been said by the developers in the past, based on all of the data mining info that we have on PoE2DB, and some other surprises in store related to them too. Additionally,
I already made a video like that for the Druid, guys. In fact, I think I have like 2 videos like that for the Druid. I can make another one, why not? And I will probably react to his video talking about the Druid. If you haven't noticed, I really want the Druid to be released. I don't know if you noticed that, but yeah, I like talking about the Druid.
With 0.30, some people are yearning for a shift up to the campaign itself. Of course, we have 3 acts right now in PoE 2. We have to rerun them again to reach the end game.
I hate that, by the way. I wish we get Act 4 or whatever act we get. People say, no, give me 4, 5, and 6 at the same time when the game launches. Are you fucking stupid, dude? That is the stupidest shit I have ever heard. I don't want to keep playing Cruel from here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 with the Cruel from here until the game launches. No, fuck that. Release the acts that you have. If you have Act 4, release that one. If you have Act 5, only the first 3 bosses, and then it suddenly ends. Give me half the Act 5. But I don't like running Cruel again. It sucks dick.
I'm really hoping that we at least get 1 new act with 0.30. Of course, there will be 6 acts at the end of the day. We actually know quite a bit about Act 4, Act 5, and yeah, Act 6 as well, although we have the least information about.
Yes, I don't know shit about Act 6, but I do know what happens in Act 4 and Act 5. Because in the art book, if you want to know what happens in Act 4 and Act 5, it is basically said in the art book that came with the Uber Deluxe edition for the game.
Act 6, I have another video planned talking about exactly that. Additionally, we know in the August patch, grinding your games are tackling balance problems that are apparent to players, specifically the fact that many skills just don't feel good right now because they are meant to be used in combination with other skills. They are going to ensure that skills feel good as combo skills, but also as standalone skills as well, meaning skills should be able to stand up on their own 2 feet and not fully rely on a plethora of other skills to actually be useful. We also know that they are working on some sort of movement speed increase that does not affect the integrity of combat in Path of Exile 2, meaning when you're navigating through maps, you can do so faster. This is, of course, in addition to all the other endgame content that I'm sure that they are going to add in 030. Myself, I'm just hoping.
Now that I experienced the endgame in PoE 1, and bear in mind, I told you guys, I still prefer PoE 2. But now that I experienced endgame progression in PoE 1 and how you get your Atlas points and your Atlas and you just plug in your map and your scarabs and you do your shit, I understand why people don't like towers. My eyes were open, and now I am also, after making several videos defending towers, I will say it, I was wrong. Towers suck dick. My eyes were open to the light, and it is much better what you do in PoE 1. But I still like how you progress the Atlas in PoE 2 in the sense that you are not just opening portals to random worlds, but you are actually traversing the world. What you have to do is keep the traversing of the world because that element is kind of cool for the mind to feel grounded. But put the way you access the nodes in the map like in PoE 1, and it will be awesome. It will be awesome, dude. So yes, that is my opinion. That is my opinion.
That they focus on adjusting the campaign and adding more acts into the game, and then adding more skills and classes. I could care less about the end game itself. I know that will be expanded upon infinitely once Path of Exile 2 actually fully releases, once all the classes, Ascendancy classes, and acts are in the game.
I think that Try didn't read the article, the interview where Jonathan said that they are planning to release the game with not all the classes. I think Try missed that interview because I have heard him say several times, I am waiting for the full release of the game with all the classes. Brother, they are going to release the game with not all the classes. They are already planning for this. So we prepare to receive a game that will not have, I don't know, the Shadow or the Marauder in there. And the game is already released for free to play or whatever the fuck.
With Path of Exile 1 forever, and it worked out for that game for quite a while. Then if we look to the distant future of Path of Exile 2, we know they are looking for a 1.0 release. This is when the game goes free to play, and I think it's not going to happen in 2025. I think they should wait.
It is 100% not happening in 2025. I already have a video talking about this, by the way. My prediction is the game is going to be released in one of these 2 dates. We know the mapping of the game is every 4 months, right? So we know August is one patch. We know December is another patch. But we know that this is not coming in 2025. So let's look at 2026. When do we get the next patch? We get it in April, I believe. And then you get the other one in August. The other one will be December again. I don't think we are going to get it in December because that is 2 years of early access. No fucking way. No fucking way, right? That you get 2 years of fucking early access. So you have to get it before that. But since you are not getting it in this year, the only 2 days that you have left is April 2025 or August 2025. The game is going to drop full free to play in one of those 2 dates. You can write this down and take it to the bank, dude. This is 100% what is going to happen.
To get all the character classes in the game, get all the acts in the game, make sure it's in the best state of balance possible, and then make the big transfer to free to play and get that whole new storm of players in the game. My guess is late 2026, early 2027 with...
Oh, that is too much, dude. That is too much. That is too much. For the free-to-play release, no way in hell. That is 2 years of early access. No way in hell. No way in hell. It is going to be one of my 2 dates. April 2026 or August 2026. Write this shit down and take it to the bank. Because they are not going to release all classes in that bad boy. Trust me, dude. Trust me. There are going to still be classes left out.
A pretty safe bet on December 2026 for the big free-to-play launch. With the game,
yes, December 2026 will be like the latest. If I am wrong with April and August, there is no way in hell this bad boy goes to 2027. It has to be tops December 2026, and it is still a lot. It is 2 years in early access. It is still too much.
only needing 5 more base classes. I think that gives us plenty of time because that is 4 expansions before then. I think they can make that timeline. I think they're making a bunch of amazing progress in the game. They've done a stellar job with Dawn of the Hunt after a little bit of stumbling in 0.10. I really...
The launch for 0.2.0 for the Dawn of the Hunt went badly for a lot of people. But to the current point where the game is today, they improved it a lot with all the mini patches they have been doing. Today, Path of Exile 2 is really fucking good, dude. Really fucking good after all the patches they have been doing.
Believe that they have their process and cadence down, and my confidence in them delivering is at an all-time high. However, while I'm filled with hope, I've seen quite a bit of doom in the community as well, now that they've decided to insistently focus on Path of Exile 1 and Path of Exile 2 at the same time, doing up...
Which is a good decision, by the way. In my opinion, it is a good decision. You still have to evaluate, like, PoE 1 is a product that is already developed. I am going to look at this not as a player, but as a businessman. Let's look at this from the business perspective for a second. PoE 1 is a product that is already developed, that has a player base there. You know that every league you launch the game, you are going to get at least, in the worst case scenario, 150k players connected to the game on Steam. Now, if you add console and you add their own launcher, this is probably more than 250k players each league that you drop in PoE 1. So this is a product that is already successful, that for a little bit of work every 4 months, you are going to get some money. Why would you abandon this product? It makes no sense to abandon this product. But it does make sense to focus more on PoE 2 because the PoE 2 launch saw 1 million players among all platforms. So it is a much more successful product. Which means that yes, from a business perspective, it makes sense to focus on PoE 2. Now, you would have to look at their actual numbers to see what makes more sense. If sunsetting PoE 1 and focusing completely on PoE 2, because you get so much more money on PoE 2 that what you get in PoE 1 in terms of development doesn't pay you back. Or you say, you know what, we can allocate a little bit of resources to PoE 1 and the return on investment every 4 months is going to be insane because it is a product that is already developed. And I think that is what is happening. They are still focusing on PoE 2. It is the big bad new boy that is getting all the attention with all the player base. But at the same time, they have a product that is already developed that you don't have to invest that much development into it every 4 months. And you will still get a huge return on investment. And this won't hinder the development of PoE 2 because that is the part that matters. PoE 1 development shouldn't at any point hinder the development of PoE 2 because that is the big bad boy that is giving you more money right now, right? But if you can allocate a little bit of resources every 4 months to PoE 1, keep the game alive, keep people happy, keep your player base coming back every league, and not hinder the development of PoE 2, this is the best case scenario. As a business perspective, I am not talking here about a player. As a player, I want both games to play them every 2 months, right? I am not talking about a player. I am talking from a business perspective. What gives them the most money? I think this is what gives them the most money. Focus on PoE 2, but don't sunset PoE 1. Just allocate a little bit of resources every 4 months, enough to develop a new league, for as little money as you can, get a huge return on investment, and continue focusing on PoE 2. That is what I think in terms of business. Much more successful launch product. PoE 1 wouldn't have held that long if it's not successful, unless I misunderstood you. No, I think that PoE 1 is a successful enough product that you don't get rid of it. Like, to get rid of PoE 1, the success of PoE 2 should be so massive that you are wasting your time basically developing PoE 1. And if they are deciding to keep developing PoE 1, it is because it's not like that, right? And because they can, with little work, develop new leagues and get a return on investment that is really good. And that is why they will try to keep both games alive. Now, again, from a business perspective, if PoE 1 league developments hinder your development of PoE 2, then it is a problem, because you are taking resources away from the game that gives you the more money to put them in the games that gives you less money. That is a bad decision in terms of business, right? But if you can keep them both without hindering the progress of the big one, that is the big money situation right there.
Dates on and off. So 2 months from the Path of Exile 1 update will come a Path of Exile 2 update. 2 months from then, a Path of Exile 1 update. And people are saying, oh my goodness, why are they focusing on the older game, the inferior game? And this, you can even say, why are they focusing on the newer game? Whatever. People are angry that
I already explained all of this, why they are doing it. So there is no need to keep going on about it.
they're focusing on one game instead of the other. I understand where you're coming from, but know that grinding your games as a studio, they need to juggle these two games. They need to maintain these two games because especially after playing Path of Exile 1, guys, and having zero desire to log back in after loving the game for 6 years, I can tell you these games at the end of the day are going to cater to very different audiences. Yes, there will be.
That is also true. That is also true. But at the same time, if the numbers are not there, it doesn't matter that it caters to a different audience. Simple as that. At the end of the day, what you care about are the numbers. Basically.
Crossover. Yes, there will be people who love PoE 1 and PoE 2, but
me.
I think
He's talking about me in there.
Path of Exile 2 right now feels like a fundamentally different game, and I think as more content is added, as more skills, classes, expansions, bosses are added to the game, it's just going to feel more and more dissimilar from Path of Exile 1, and
which is good, by the way, because one of my fears was that with more content, it gets more like PoE 1. So if your assessment is that with more content, it will get farther away from PoE 1, that is a good thing. Because then you can even more keep the two games alive. But there can also come a point in the future, and this can be in 5 years, it can be in a long time, but it can come a point in the future where it gets not sustainable to keep the two games going at the same time, right? Like, for example, if the player base in PoE 1 keeps dropping and then you have a league launch with only 20k players, you are no longer justified to keep the game alive, right? But as long as you keep 200, 300k players coming back each time, you can keep the product alive. Those were the numbers for PoE 1 before PoE 2 launch, by the way. If PoE 2 launch was insane. Even then, they didn't think they would get the numbers that they got with PoE 2. PoE 2 was a massive success even for them. They were astonished. They weren't expecting that amount of players. So if you keep getting the numbers that you always kept getting for PoE 1, everything is fine. You keep doing it. But it can come a point in the future where you don't get it. And PoE 2 completely overtakes the environment. This is just a speculation. You don't know it. I am just saying that that future can exist. But it can also not exist. It can also be the case that PoE 1 still maintains the PoE 1 player base and people keep coming back and PoE keeps developing it. Yeah, there's a reality in which that makes sense. But for the foreseeable future, it doesn't seem likely. Yes, for the foreseeable future, it doesn't seem likely. Because people will keep, as long as what I'm seeing right now, at least for a year or two, people will keep coming back for PoE 1. With the same numbers we are currently seeing. In fact, I could also say that once PoE 2 goes free to play and it gets a huge amount of new players, PoE 1 is also going to see a spike in new players that are going to come from the PoE 2 free to play environment. Maybe I am wrong, but that is what I expect to see happen.
The savvy move from Grinding Gear Games, yes, is to keep Path of Exile 1 going, to satisfy those players that they have created, that player base that they have curated
that is what I said, by the way,
past decade, and then build out this huge new player base with Path of Exile 2 as well. And yes, some of the people from Path of Exile 1 will move to Path of Exile 2, and like me, they may fall off from Path of Exile 1, and that's totally okay. I think both of these games can coexist, both of them.
Play boss, PoE all year around. You go from 1 to 2, from 2 to 1, from 1 to 2, all year around, baby. Let's go.
Can thrive. I hope I'm proven right with Grinding Gear Games in the next year and a half or so. We will have to see, but I am not dooming right now, even though I was a bit dejected because I was so thoroughly excited for Path of Exile 1 3.26, and I ended up having zero desire, zero interest playing on a launch weekend, and that really shocked me. And I think I've just realized I have limited time. I really enjoy other games better right now, so I'm not going to spend that time that I could spend enjoying other games and having fun grinding out PoE 1 because I need to make content for it, or I need to get cosmetics in the game. I think I'm past that point in my gamer journey, and I've realized that's okay. So Exiles, let me know, are you having fun in Path of Exile 3.26? Are you just looking forward to the upcoming Path of Exile 2 patches leading up to 0.30 and beyond?
I am excited about all of that. I am excited about the coming patch for PoE 1 where they are going to fix mercenaries because they are doing too much fucking damage. I am excited for 0.3. I am excited for 3.20. I am excited for all of that. GG, hire me already, dude. By the way, you are seeing the love that I am putting into your games. Just hire me already, motherfucker. I will have to say, I will make a video because I am too lazy to make a CV. I am too lazy to make a CV. I am going to make a video that is going to be like, how do you call that? The letter that you send them, cover letter. Instead of doing a cover letter, I am going to do a cover video. A 3-minute video doing my pitch, why they should hire me, and just start spamming them with the video in Twitter and all the social media.
Beyond, or are you just peaced out from all Path of Exile right now and are looking forward to my Claire Obscure review and a few other choice content pieces? Going to be a little bit different because there's no Path of Exile content on the channel, Path of Exile 1 content on the channel, but if you are here just for my style of content, make sure you stay subscribed because I am getting people unsubbing because they don't agree with me not liking PoE 1. I don't know what to say. I'm just speaking.
Brother, people unsub from you for whatever shit. One day I can say that I like chocolate ice cream and they like vanilla ice cream, and that is enough for unsubbing. So hey, you can think much about it, dude.
What I think, that's all. So make sure sub to the channel, like the video, and make sure you watch this video on screen right now. As always, thanks for watching, have fun, and stay sane.
Hey dude, I like the video. Try. It is fine that he's not having fun. Like, you are not forced to having fun. The video prompts us to talk about cool shit. I am excited about PoE 1 and PoE 2. And hey, dude, I think we are entering the golden age for Path of Exile in general. Because everything is going great for GG at this point. They are entering the cadence flow of 2 months for every... Like, it is 4 months for each game, but 2 months if you stagger them. And it is going to be awesome. It is going to be great, and I am really excited. Thank you, Try, for this video, my dude. And I hope you keep enjoying whatever you want to enjoy, be it PoE 2 or other games, and everything goes great for you, my man. What do you guys think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I a clown? Am I a genius? Let me know everything in the comments below. I love reading comments even when they don't agree with me. Also, remember to like the video, to subscribe to the channel, all that cool stuff. Guys, thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. God bless you. And remember, don't be afraid ever, because this is just a ride.